It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Thank you for tuning in to the Sean Widmer Podcast. We have got a guest today, my guy Kevin James. We're going to get right into it here in just a second. Talked to Kev for a while. I was actually bummed out because I talked to Kev on Zoom. I've not used Zoom in forever, 2020, COVID days. And so I called Kev on Zoom so we could get the video up and running, and it was just great. I'd planned on talking to Kevin for an hour and a half. That was what I had allotted myself. We started talking at 11:30 on Saturday night, and I said I just need to be in bed by 1 o'clock. So an hour and a half. I forgot freaking Zoom has a 40-minute time limit on it unless you pay. Right? This is why everyone should be on Discord. Discord is a far superior service than Zoom. Far superior. And our conversation got cut off. So I was really bummed out because I think we only ended up getting 31 minutes of chat time. And it was great. It was great catching up with Kevin. It's always fun catching up with Kev. But the one thing I will say is it made it sound like talking to him, he'll come on more this year. I always just feel bad bothering him, but I love talking with him. So I'm gonna use and abuse him in the next couple months because I just dig it. We didn't get to talk about half the things I wanted to talk to him about. But if you want to hear the entire interview, 31 minutes, it's over at Patreon, patreon.com/Sean Widmer Podcast. You can go check it out, listen to all 31 minutes. Today, you're going to get a bit of it because I realized something. On Saturday night, I went over to my buddy Mike's house. I've got two Mikes who live here who are my friends. They're my only friends. I only have friends named Mike. Not Spokane Mike, but Lexington Mike. Went over to his house, and we were chatting, and through the night, he had mentioned The Princess Bride. And I was like, man, I love The Princess Bride. So I went and I started watching it before Kevin was available. When I got home, I was watching it before talking to Kev. And something came up in that movie that I had not realized. And so I needed to talk to Kevin about that. So there's a little bit of movie talk in this. The thing I wanted to do with Kevin, I just sidetracked. I sidetracked completely. We always did on the radio predictions for the year. It was a miserable fail. Nobody liked it except for Kevin and me. We loved it. Listeners didn't like it. I don't think Jay liked it. We would have other people in. TC would come in. Steve Hawk would come in. They didn't really like it. I thought it was great. Kevin thought it was great. So I thought I'm going to bring him on the podcast so we can do the thing that just the two of us liked. And then we got totally sidetracked. So we were going to do some predictions. You'll hear some of those, some movie talk. Here he is, part of the interview with my main man, Kevin Eugene James. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to end the year with this. One of my favorite human beings in the world, one of my bestest friends in the whole wide world, Kevin James, GetYourDJ.com, the Jay and Kevin Show, frequenter to, I'm trying to think, what was the coffee place we liked?
Bruce Brothers.
Bruce Brothers.
I still make an occasional stop there. And Nicole, who has been
Love her.
working there, I believe, for 13 years. I think she just told me that the other day. 13 years.
That's insane. That's insane. She's awesome.
It is.
She's
Yeah.
awesome. Go get a coffee there if you're in Spokane. All right, Kevin is going to close out 2024. I couldn't think of a more fitting way to end the year than to pull in a big dog. Get a big fish to finish the year. So, and then, Rob said no, so I reached out to Kev. Kev said yes. Okay, KJ, I got to tell you, man, it's weird. This is I'm very thankful for Marco Polo in my life. You're one of the reasons why, because if it wasn't for Marco Polo, I don't think I'd talk to you hardly at all. But instead we get to talk like normally at least a couple times a week via the wonderful phone app Marco Polo.
Yeah, I've kind of bought into that whole concept. And just what I like about it is I can send you the messages. Like the other day, I went on a rant. I don't even remember what it was about, but I sent you like 5 of them.
They're great.
And I go, there's probably no chance you're going to hear all of these, but they're all in my head right now. So I wanted to get them all to you. If I did that in a text, you're never getting that. If I tried to call you, yeah, maybe we'd connect once in a while, but not nearly as often. It just, the ability to watch it when you want is just golden, especially with us with the time difference.
It's killer.
It does, it makes it a little weird.
I think we do at the phone. I think we talk on the phone a lot more if it was same time, if it was same time zone. But it's not. Sure. It doesn't make sense. Like right now, this semi works for you to record something. at 9 o'clock your time. It's midnight my time. It's just it's weird. You were going to go to the casino tonight. Did you not go to the casino?
I did not.
Oh,
I did
man.
not. I don't know. I started watching football and it just felt right. And then I was kind of losing it. Producer Steve came over for
Oof.
just to hang out a little bit. I tried to, it's the once a month to make sure he gets out of the house. And
Yeah.
so but we were gonna go to the casino, and then he was kind of like, "Hey, I'm good if we don't go." I was like, honestly, during the football games, falling asleep.
Oh.
So I thought, God, yeah, I'm the worst, Steve. Hey, I invite you over and I fall asleep.
We're gonna do. I don't want to talk a lot of sports with you today. We could do an hour. We could do a million hours on sports.
Yes, we could.
I believe that. This is also not the podcast that I'm dying to do. That podcast will come. There will be a day the podcast will come. We will do probably the greatest podcast the internet has ever seen in the world the second you retire.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the day you retire, we're doing it.
I appreciate you saying
We're
that
going in.
it'll be retiring.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, you're not getting fired. Like that's not happening. You've done it too long. Like
yeah,
if they would have already.
I hope you're right.
They would have already fired. They would have either fired us or they would have fired you by now. I think this is my first full year, KJ, out of radio. This was my 2024 marked my very first year of my adult life where I didn't work in a radio station. Besides that, from college on, that's all I knew. So it was my very first year. How is it? You said producer Steve, and it was a weird thing where it's like, one time that was my name.
Yeah.
But that's been a life. It feels like a lifetime ago, a whole child ago. How is the world of radio?
It's good. Obviously, it's as far as the show goes, it's good. It's fun. I love doing what we do. We just did something that we hadn't done before, which was, our company does Christmas Wish.
Yeah.
And some of the people who did it are no longer with us. And so the company was like, well, we need you guys to step up and do it. So we did. And that was kind of cool where you deliver to very seldom when you raise money, do you get to see the end result. You know what I mean? Like when we do when we do the food drive, like we know what the end result is. Like people are going to get food, but we don't actually go to their house and watch them eat.
Why did we never get to do that? That was such a miss by us.
I don't know.
How great would that have been?
Raise money for cancer. That's awesome. Curing cancer. But again, you don't really see the end of it. That was the cool thing with the Christmas Wish was like going to people's house, delivering them, people that were in some tough spots.
Yeah.
It was cool. That was very different.
Could you imagine us showing up to someone's house, doing the morning show, watching them eat the cream of wheat that Warren brought?
Yep. We could just be like,
well,
all right, kids, here's the good cereal. We saved it for you. Bus driver Gail dropped this off. She wanted you to have it.
Yep. That's really cool. I enjoyed the pictures you guys posted of it. It looked really cool. I love that stuff. That part. I always thought that part of Christmas Wish, we didn't do it at the time when I was there. And I always thought it was really cool. And I'm glad you guys got to do it.
It was cool getting to do. I mean, the way we got to do it's, not cool.
Yeah.
That part of radio is no fun. And I mean, radio is certainly, it's changing for sure.
Let's get into this. Kevin, one of the segments I love to do on the radio with you, and it was one of them that probably didn't work, but I thought it would be great because it was fun. I liked doing it at the beginning of every year was predictions for the year.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do some right now on the podcast. We're going to do some predictions, and this is for 2025, and I'm going to start with the same one I would say on the radio all the time. Cheesecake Factory is coming to Spokane.
Dude, you have been loyal to that.
I said it for 10 straight years, and then now I feel like Cheesecake Factory has already run its course. We've got way bigger restaurants to bring to Spokane.
We do. Okay, I will take one along that in the food world, but a different negative spin.
Okay.
And that is, I believe we're getting like a couple other hot chicken places, rumors of a Dave and Buster's, I believe. I think one of the chicken places that's in Spokane will close down.
Ooh.
They'll just be like, and I don't know if it's, the national chain like the Houston
Ooh,
Hot Chicken or
you got too much
one of
chicken.
these. Never for me, you know that. It's my first love. But
Yes, it is.
it
People come up
yeah,
to
I
you on
don't
the
know.
streets and talk to you about chicken.
That's all they want to know
That's all I want
is
to know.
how do you get your breasts so
Well,
moist?
you got moist breasts, bud.
I
And
do.
I just want to see those. I want those moist breasts in my mouth at my house. So how can I do that? I know people say it all
Yeah,
the time to you, and I get it.
yeah,
I feel you.
yeah.
Dick Van Dyke's going to die in 2025.
Well, I hope so. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he's had a hell of a run, and
What a way to
he's just so,
what a way to do that, man. That's so true because no one disagreed with you there, right? No one was like, "Well, that
yeah.
Kevin James, what a mean guy." It's like, yeah, we last time I saw him, it's time.
Oh, I love him. He's just so. I saw a very funny clip. I wish I could remember who he was on there with. Someone that he's starring in a show with right now.
Which is insane.
Any idea?
No.
No, who it was? But the actor was saying, I saw the cutest thing when Dick Van Dyke's son, Harry, or whatever his name is,
Yeah.
who is 78 years old,
Yeah. Barry.
came up
It's
to
Barry
him
Van
at,
Dyke. He played Steve Sloan in Diagnosis Murder, Kev. Come on.
okay, all right. He came up to
Duh.
Dick at their
Duh.
house and said, Hey, Dad, is it cool if we turn on the slide for the pool? And he just thought it was so funny because it's a 78-year-old man asking his dad for permission to turn on the pool, the slide at the pool. And I was like, yeah, that's still your dad, even though you're
Yeah.
78.
And which is also speaks volumes to Dick Van Dyke, who is 99, by the way. 99.
Yeah.
I turned 99 at the beginning of December. The fact that he's still with it enough to be able to understand like that. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I don't, it's just like you're 99. At some point you're like, who are you and what's a slide and what's a pool? Right.
Yeah.
And he's still just hanging out. But when he passes away, it is going to be, for me, that week is going to be a week of watching everything that I've loved and not feeling
Yeah.
bad about it. By the way, which movie is better, Die Hard or Princess Bride?
That's a weird comparison.
It is. There's a reason for it.
Wow. It was so different what they give
Yeah,
me, but
so different.
I mean, I guess here's something that surprised me.
Yeah.
My son Tyler started to watch Die Hard the other night
So
and
good.
realized I've never seen the original. And realized about 20 minutes into it, this is so old it sucks. And he shut it off. And that was painful for me where I was like, what?
Yeah.
He loves all the other ones.
Yeah, and I get it. There comes a point where a movie's old and it's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's great for me. I'm still going to love it because it's from nostalgia wise, it's great, but I do get it if there's a 20 or 30-year-old who goes, yeah, that movie stinks. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's why I bring it up. Die Hard, I guess I'm not irritated by it anymore because it's been so overplayed, but Die Hard, everyone goes, is Die Hard the best Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Princess Bride happens during Christmas. And the reason
Oh,
I
it
know that
does.
is right before we started recording, I started watching Princess Bride. It came up in conversation tonight at a buddy's house, and I was like, I need to watch Princess Bride. So I was watching it, and the story, because there's the guy telling his grandson the story of the Princess Bride. And it's
Right.
happening during Christmas. Santa Claus on the wall. They look out the window. All the Christmas lights are up. And I think it's disrespectful because Princess Bride is really good. It's really disrespectful that Die Hard got all the love for like
That's fair.
it's the best Christmas movie. It's like, well, where was Princess Bride in all this? Because that is set
Yeah.
directly in the middle of it to the point where the book Princess Bride, the reason it is being read is it was given to the boy as a Christmas present. So
What else do you need?
So
I mean,
there's
what else? What other proof do you need? A reindeer? What? I
Yeah.
mean, what are we looking for? I got a couple
reindeer
quick
up your
things.
butt. Okay, yeah. What?
Couple quick thoughts for
Yeah,
you.
four-
Did you see the movie Carry On? Speaking of Die Hard, and
No.
I keep
No.
saying it wrong. It's not
Car-
Carry On. It's Carry On.
Carry On. No, I have no idea what this even is.
Okay,
I'm
you
looking
got to
it up.
watch it.
Carry
It's
On.
Jason Bateman
Oh.
and
Oh.
some other dude that I wish I knew. I don't know who he is. You probably do.
Oh, it's the kid from it's Taron Egerton. It's the kid from Sing. He plays Johnny in Sing, but he's also in the movie The King's the King's Murderer or whatever it's called. They're so good.
The Kingsman.
Kingsman. Kingsman. Yeah. He's also Elton John.
He is trying. He works at the airport. Jason Bateman, bad guy, who basically takes him over, talking in his head, and tells him, "You got to do this. You got to make sure this package gets on the plane." Blah blah blah. Craziness ensues, and I will tell you, at the beginning of the movie, I was like, "Nah, I don't know. This kid's okay, but he was kind of boring." I'm like, I'm not going to see myself rooting for him. I'm going to root for Jason Bateman because I love him.
Totally.
And then by like the middle of the movie, you were like, Jason Bateman, you are the worst person I have ever met in my entire life. Even though I never met you.
We both love Jason Bateman, right? Because we both like Smartless.
Oh, yeah, and he's so good. And so I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. I think it's been the #1 movie since Christmas. Okay. But it has a nice Christmas feel to it too. It's because it's happening Christmas Eve.
Murder and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, right. Just like Die Hard. It screams Christmas.
Screams Christmas. The best podcast in the world. Oh yeah, go ahead. Scream at me.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, baby. That movie's great.
That movie was great. Our Little Secret.
Our Little Secret was a great Christmas movie. I
enjoyed it.
I cried. Anna was mad at me because I cried. I cried during all Christmas movies. I don't even remember. I just cried. I was happy. I loved it. I mentioned it on this podcast. I mentioned the fact that I am now at the point in my life, every single Christmas movie, I want you to be predictable. When the movie starts, I want to know what happens at the end. Just take me on that journey. I was so glad that movie started one way and didn't like try to throw a curveball at you like, oh, but then this happened. They just gave us what we wanted. And it was wonderful.
They did. And the twist that they did.
It was secondary. Yes.
Yeah, they were secondary characters, and they were wild twists where you were like, what?
Yeah, put a reindeer up there, bud.
They put a reindeer up
there, bud. That's all you need, and it was great.
God, I could do this forever with you.
I love it.
It's been too long since we've talked into radio equipment or whatever with each other.
It's been forever. We need to do it more often. I just feel bad. I feel bad bothering you.
Never.
I won't.
Look how busy I am.
I know.
Now I'm wide awake and I'll probably go to the casino. So if I lose any money, this is on you.
The best podcast in the world is the Jay and Kevin podcast. You can listen to it, get it for free. It's awesome. It's been around for a very long time, even though other people say otherwise. But the second best podcast in the world is Daniel Tosh. Tosh Show. Everyone needs to listen to Tosh Show, right, Kev?
Tuesdays. It makes me laugh every week. He's got a nice little style about it.
Oh gosh. Okay, I love you. This is gonna.
By the way, your picture is still on our podcast.
Thank you. Are the Zags good? No, they're not right now.
Not yet.
They're not good right now. They're not good.
Not yet.
That was bad.
Not good enough yet.
The refs screwed us today. For the record, the refs sucked.
There was some rough stuff.
Like that was. I don't do the ref thing a lot, but when it's that blatantly obvious, I do the ref thing. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. What
are we doing? All right.
I heard some of Morrison on the broadcast, and he was losing his mind.
Good. Oh, there it was. And Kevin is gone. And you see my screen. I love that man. Thank you, Kev. Good catching up with him. Oh, I love that guy. Miss that man. I miss that man. It's a weird thing because that was somebody, he and Jay, I talked to every single day of my life for 15 years. I mean, from when I was 25, more than that, from when I was 25 to 41, pretty much every single day I was in the building with them, either working on their show or working in the same building as them. And I would always see them. And so you talk to someone every single day and then you don't talk to them for a long time. It's really weird. So always good to catch up with either one of those guys. Great hearing from Kev. Thank you, Kevin, for making time.
Kelly's, what are you into?
I got to give this the Kelly's What Are You Into? It's nothing too exciting. It's nothing you can go get or go chase after or try to access. but it's probably something that you dealt with, and maybe you are in the same boat as me. I got rid of all of the Christmas cardboard. It's that simple. Kelly's, what are you into today? Getting rid of the last piece of Christmas cardboard. Santa brings a lot of things, but one thing he brings the most of is cardboard. And the cardboard collection we had over the last week and a half seemed insurmountable. But over the weekend, I was able to cut it all down and get it all out and get it to the recycling. And there was this great feeling of accomplishment. And I'm not a projects don't give me a feeling of accomplishment. When I build something for the house, or which I'm not great at, obviously, if you followed my life, you know I'm not great at it, or I figure something out, even something as simple as hanging a picture or hanging a shelving unit and it stays, I feel no sense of accomplishment for that. That's just how I'm wired. It does not do that for me. I know for a lot of people it does. I just get done with it. I'm like, ugh. The cardboard, getting rid of it, made me feel like popping a bottle of champagne. The last piece got dropped off. I looked at my truck bed. It was empty. I came home. The garage was empty. And I just thought, we've done it. We've made it. Life is great. So it's a simple Kelly's What Are You Into today, but I hope you can relate to it because it is a great feeling when that Christmas cardboard is gone. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so this might be one of the last podcasts of the year, maybe the last podcast of the year. Thank you to everyone who's listening. The next episode, which comes out Wednesday, which I believe is New Year's, it will be recorded on New Year's Eve, released on New Year's Day. I want to talk about like the year and how this last year was, how the next year was, kind of a little reminiscing and looking forward. And I got to give a shout out to my guy Miles, the Miles Fafcast, P-F-A-F-F, Miles Fafcast. Go listen to it. It's a great podcast. He did his resolutions for the upcoming year. I'm going to do it. It's basic. Yeah, it's basic. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. And we had kind of talked about things that I wanted to accomplish, I had talked about that about a month ago. So we still have those going, and we're growing this podcast and doing stuff with the podcast. Still working on that. But these will just be the basic New Year's resolutions. I used to be really against New Year's resolutions, mainly because I was just a jerk. And I see the value in them now, and I get it. You could start them any day of the year and whatever. Don't be that person. Just let people make their New Year's resolutions. We're going to do it on Wednesday. All right. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I hope that the New Year's Eve into New Year's Day is a ton of fun, and you find yourself getting to be with people you like, or even by yourself if that's what you like, and you can do something enjoyable, even if that's going to bed at 9 o'clock. I just hope you can find a way to enjoy New Year's Eve. Thanks for listening.